Meeting's now open to the public.
Tina Renner, Cranford, New Jersey. I am with the Union County Watchdog Association. You're going to appropriate almost $600,000 to fix up the dog park in Echo Lake Park. It's quite an extravagance considering a lot of towns are laying off essential services like police officers, but I realize this has been in the works for a long time. And the reason why I realize that is you've had up at Echo Lake Park the plans, I believe it's Museo Group, I'm guessing now, but I think it was Museo Group that provided the plans, and it was a year or two ago, and I placed an Oprah request for the plans, the bills, an extensive Oprah request, and I got nothing back. There were no documents to provide. So here you are, you have a citizen watchdog that tried to participate in this process and to understand what's going on, and since that Oprah request, at least a year later, here's a $600,000 item on an agenda being voted on. So I'll place the Oprah request again. I'm sure, as I said, you had the plans up there. It was a big, actually it was laying on the ground, but it was a huge plan provided by, I believe it was the Museo Group. So there was a service provided, there was a bill. Obviously they didn't do it for free. Maybe they did do it for free, but no one told me that. So just to people that are watching this meeting tonight don't usually pay attention to county governments, and they're watching all the glitz and glamour, but you know, pay attention to what you're not being told. I don't know what your county tax rate is in Clark. I know mine in Cranford is 18%. That's a big chunk of money, and I am constantly frustrated with trying to get information. Also with the dog park, I'm not saying it's a bad idea, but I know personally of people that have experienced horrific accidents or incidences with dog bites and dogs attacking dogs, and I wonder if any kind of data is being gathered for that. If someone can let me know about that, I would be interested in that from a public health standpoint, and just something to keep track of. Maybe there's something that can be done, I don't know, but dog bites are serious. I know it's a serious law in New Jersey especially. We have very strict laws about dog bites, so I'd like to know if you're tracking that anyway.
Okay.
I know also, not to take anything away from your Assistant Director of Public Information, who you honored tonight. I'm sure he deserves it. But I just want to point out his title. He's the Assistant Director of Office of Public Information. You have a Director of Public Information. Tonight you have here a staff photographer. You have a title by a newspaper editor. It goes on and on. You're spending upwards of $500,000 on salaries for public information. And going back to what I said about the dog park, I can't get real public information out of you. So all these towns that are out there struggling to make ends meet, laying off your police officers. There was a very, very heart-wrenching meeting in Cranford last week. I watched the rerun today, or maybe it was this week, and heart-wrenching. It's heart-wrenching. We're going to have, looks like we're going to have to lay off cops and firefighters, and what are we getting for our 17% of our tax bill? $1 million public information department that gives me no information? Sorry, that's not acceptable, and people need to smell the roses and realize what's going on here. Look beyond the glitz, because you're paying for the glitz. You're paying for it. And you know what that is? That's propaganda. That's socialism. It's not democracy. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Renner. All right, anyone else wishing to speak, please come forward.
Hi, John Burry, Kenilworth. And she kind of took my question, but that's what struck me too. But there wasn't an answer, and I'd kind of like an answer. It was announced this week that Kenilworth is tabling their public safety building because they can't come up with the money. Cranford is laying off 2 cops, Scotts Plains 27 people altogether. You've laid off 28. I've been coming to these meetings for like a year or so, and I haven't heard any talk of a dog park. I've been to the dog park once. It's a fence. $586,972. Is that to bring it up to code, or are we going to have a state-of-the-art dog park when, I mean, I'd like to know what precipitated this. Is it a requirement, or is there somebody who really wants a nice dog park? I mean, that's really my only question.
Well, as you know, Mr. Berry, this is an opportunity to give comments. So
Yeah,
there may
I'm
be
done.
times when we provide answers for that.
Oh, so you're not going to answer anything
Well,
tonight?
I don't know. It depends on, what comes up. I mean, I can tell you that that park is well utilized, the dog park, and there is a need for that in our county. You may disagree with it. That's your prerogative. But that's not how I see it right now.
Right, no, a dog park is useful. Everybody needs a dog park. A $600,000 dog park? I mean, I'm trying to wrap my mind around it. What are those dogs going to have?
You can make your jokes. That's
No,
fine.
I'm serious. I mean, I've been there twice. My little dog was actually mauled by a couple of bigger dogs. You got to do something about that. But $600,000, it seems like, is it required, or what will be there $600,000 later? I mean, that's all I really have.
Okay, thank you.
Jim Bittner, Cranford, New Jersey. I'd also like to echo the comments made by the people that preceded me here. $600,000 for a dog park? We closed a golf course that thousands of people came from all over the county to use for a little bit more than that amount in the way of a loss. $720,000 we were told we lost. We closed a golf course and we bulldozed it. And now you're going to build a dog park for $600,000 that, could 100 people use? That's my comment.
Okay, thank you.
Good evening, Chairman Marabella, ladies and gentlemen of the Freeholder Board. Bruce Patterson, 325 Willow Avenue, Garwood. And how do I know my 5 minutes are up, by the way? Who's got the egg timer? Is that what it is? It dings?
You'll know.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll remind me of anything. But,
You're wasting it now.
well, I don't have much to speak on, and I do appreciate that this is a very short agenda, which means that you're not spending a lot of money, and I'd like to see more of this throughout the year. In fact, none of the numbers are more than $500,000 or $600,000, which it seems everybody's picking on, which I might as well continue.
Why not?
Why not? But anyway, at least, let me add, I got a little more level-headedness in looking at this, and this is 2009-511, of course, we're talking about Part A, and you're awarding a contract to Falcon Ridge Construction to provide services, and that word services, that I think it's probably wrong, because what this more or less was, and I'm only guessing at this point, was it was a competitive bid that went out for the construction of the dog park. Would you be able to at least confirm that?
That's right. George?
Yes. Okay, so it's really the construction, it's not services, because later on I will be talking about services in the other public speaking portions.
Okay.
So I hope you look forward to that.
I do.
But okay, well anyway, but $600,000, and from what I read, there's going to be a building there, and if anything, I mean, I have been to the dog park. My wife has a little poodle named Opal. Hello, Opal. Yeah. And is this a 7-second delay at least?
I hope so.
But
Is this time up, Mr. Graziano? Go ahead, Mr. Patterson.
okay, just to continue. But the dog park was in serious need of repair or rebuilding.
Correct.
Something has to be done. The cost to me, $600,000, is a lot of money in these times, as the other members of the public had mentioned. Whatever's there is there now. You awarded the contract. I mean, what is there now? And Mr. Burry is right. I mean, it is a fence, and my wife actually goes there on a camera, and she keeps coming back and she keeps saying they hang little bags of dog doo on the fence. So hopefully, whatever you're going to build, you'll be able to get rid of that, because unless it's little presents for the freeholders that they put
I
there.
don't think so.